We breaking walls down, the legacy is a new season. We crossing lines now, but you know we ain't causing no treasons. We on a new wave, dropping jewels in the man cave. She like the game, so we ran plays. She held it down in the dog days.
Yo, what's happening? Welcome to Man Cave. Welcome to Man Cave. We have a extremely special show for you guys. I haven't been this excited about a show yet. No disrespect to anybody else, but today we have in studio loving father to a beautiful young lady, a loving son to a beautiful young lady, loving brother to me.
Absolutely.
I want to preface this by saying how amazing of a person you are, and I do this all the time. I'm always going to give flowers to all of my guests, but this one comes easy because I've known you all my life. So you're an amazing friend. And I want to start by giving you those flowers because that's what's going to matter 50 years from now when we're on the rocking chairs in the country somewhere, before I even get into how dope you are as the entrepreneur, businessman, dopest clothing designer I know. And I say that respectfully because I know a few, but I don't know anybody as dope as you. House of Kings, just extraordinaire, bespoke suits like no other. We got my brother, and I want to call him my little brother. I can call you little brother today.
Little brother.
My little brother in the building, Don Bobo. Hey man, I want to get up right now and give you a hug because I'm so excited about this show.
Appreciate it. I'm excited to be here, man. Super excited to be here.
Absolutely. Let's stay with the clothes. Let's stay with the clothes part. I remember when you first started House of Kings. Matter of fact, I remember before you started House of Kings. I remember when you started designing clothes. You just was drawing that. You probably started that in high school.
Yeah.
And I knew you had something then. I remember you gave me a call when we were in Atlanta. You was like, hey, I got this situation. I'm not gonna mention the name of the company, but you was like, hey man, we gonna go sell these suits. We gonna go train. We gonna go learn how to do this.
Right.
And we went to this training with this particular company, and learned how to do it. Learn how to measure folks for custom suits. And I still kind of know a little bit.
You got it.
But it's kind of faded, bro. It's kind of faded.
Y'all should have seen him in that too. He was excited. He was ready. He was measuring everybody. He was in there running through different people, trying them out.
Yeah.
He was ready.
But you had a passion for it. I didn't have the passion to, see everybody. I didn't have a passion to make sure everybody else was drippy. You did. I just wanted to make sure I was good.
He said, I was trying to make sure I'm good.
That's it.
That's it.
But yeah, man, I've seen you catapult your way all the way to the top, bro. And nothing but the best as far as that. House of Kings, the hskgbrand.com. I wear it all the time. That's exactly what y'all see me rocking. He's sponsored every show. He's made sure I was good every single show, every single time out. So y'all go check that out. The hskgbrand.com.
Appreciate it.
How life been, brother? How life been treating you, man?
Man, I'm blessed, man. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm blessed,
Yeah.
I talk to you about it every day, but
yeah,
it's just, this little girl changed my world, having a daughter, my first child.
Right.
Amazing blessing. It's almost one of those moments you have when you like, damn, I probably should have did this a long time ago.
Right.
And then you like, nah.
Right.
It was right on time.
Right.
I'm blessed, man. Just looking forward and just grinding out what's new for House of Kings and pounding the pavement, man.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, man.
Well, look, we you know how we do in the Man Cave, bro. We get straight into it. And of course, my beautiful niece, I mean, just a treasure, bro. Like, she's special.
Yeah.
Like, she's literally special, and
She's
you could
a bundle
tell.
of joy, man. She really is. Everybody see it too.
She's just so responsive, man. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, and I know people, it seems cliche when people say that. Like,
right.
Everybody baby the best.
Everybody baby special. Right.
But at the end of the day, man, I do see like nothing but light
Yeah,
in that young lady.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
my little poodle.
But let's get into it, man. We're gonna find out how life been treating, the king of House of Kings.
Absolutely. Hey, I like that. The king of House of Kings.
Absolutely. Recently, you and C posted online. Y'all went online and posted that, and C, of course, that's my sis. That you guys decided to call it quits in your marriage. After how many years?
7 years married.
7 years. 7 years married. So you guys recently decided to call it quits, which was, of course, I was privy to some of that information ahead of time before the world knew. But and it, and I must say, and you already know this, that it was devastating for me and anyone close to it.
Absolutely. Everybody was affected the same, just about. I didn't see any different reactions from anybody else. Yeah. Everybody had the same absolute reaction to us, getting a divorce.
Shock.
Yeah.
It was just a lot of shock was there because it came suddenly for a lot of us, you know what I mean?
A lot of people didn't know because we just didn't put a lot of people in our personal. And we didn't prep people like, hey, by the way, probably in a few months we might get a divorce. Now it was just like, hey, this is what happened. Right. And everybody was like, wait, what? Time out. Yeah. Explain that.
Take us back to the beginning, bro. Take us back to how the beginning of the relationship, like, the honeymoon stages and man. And how things go, in that point. Because I know we probably were we rooming at the time?
Absolutely.
When you met her?
Yep.
So I remember I remember when you met. I don't know if I remember when you met her, but I was around in the beginning. I can say that.
Correct.
So
remember you was around when we met too.
So take us through all the ups, you know what I mean, and how the honeymoon stage. Yeah.
So I tell a lot of people, man, when you that stage is real critical and it's crucial in deciding who you're gonna spend the rest of your life with. And a lot of people don't take it serious. A lot of people just kind of do the surface work, as what I call it, the surface work. They go on dates, they hang out, go out to eat, find out what's your favorite foods and all the basics, right?
Right.
And so for us, we were friends for 3 years first. But we had a friendship. That was my homie. That was my partner. She called me bro for 3 years.
Right.
We had that kind of relationship. Mm-hmm. So for us, it was easy because we've known each other for so long.
Right.
It was easy. But the honeymoon stages, a lot of people don't realize is that why I say it's the most critical is because this is the time for you to find out somebody's core, find out who they really are. Not like, because not the representative, right? You gonna get, that person always first come out. We talk about that all the time. Man, you talked about it. It's like, I'm not just gonna pass gas around you when I first meet you. You feel me? Like, I'm just not gonna be like, your dress look nice. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just, you're not gonna get that guy. Mm-hmm. You're gonna get that guy down the road. You're gonna get that guy probably when we living together. And then what happens is, then you have to make a decision.
Right.
Can I be with this person for the rest of my life?
After you start,
is this okay for me? Is this a deal breaker? Is this something I can be, okay with? Is this something I can, compromise?
Right.
Them some questions, but most people don't do their work. Most people don't. And you can get there quick. We talked about this. You can get there quick. Right. You can really get to that stage to really finding out who that person is to the core quick. It's just about doing the work. You know what I mean?
You said something crucial right there. Yeah. There have been a lot of conversations that have been going on, basically with a lot of people saying, not just women, some guys as well saying, a man knows very, very fast or very quickly whether or not he's going to marry you. Now, my take on it is, and this is just from my perspective, I'll know whether or not there's a possibility that I will marry a person pretty fast.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
But whether I will marry, like whether I'm going to actually pop the question.
Question is a different.
That's 6 months ain't even, that's for me.
Right.
That's probably not enough time. Correct. But I can see how it could be.
Right.
Brothers, do you think you know?
So for me, with me and C, for an example, we was friends for 3 years. I told her while we was homies, like, if you gave me an opportunity, I'm gonna marry you, right? That was literally physical words that came out my mouth. You know, if me and you ever date, I'm gonna marry you, right?
Right.
And she would hear that on a regular basis. And then when it finally started dating, she already knew what it was. She already knew, but it wasn't an instant thing.
Right.
The reason I say that is because as men, marriage for us isn't something when we was kids we dreamed of. We didn't plan the wedding. We didn't have the whole fairy tale of the putting the ring on and then, I'm gonna get on this one knee and she gonna say, that's nothing we ever as men dream of or think about as kids or even growing up in school or high school.
Right.
It's never our fantasy. So it's nothing that we're constantly going straight to initially.
Right.
But it is something when it comes to making a woman your wife mentally, it's something we make a decision on fairly quick in our minds.
Mm-hmm.
It's the signing of the paperwork. It's the actually getting down on the one knee. That part comes a little different because we really haven't thought about that part.
Right.
But as far as looking at her and saying, that's my wife, that's why dudes always say, well, that's wifey, that's wifey. Of course that's wifey, that's wifey. But she's not legally wifey.
Right.
Because that's a different step for us.
Because at some point you just know
Absolutely.
that this person is special.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Now you know that this person is special. But like you said, as guys, we might not go all the way into it because we're not necessarily groomed to be thinking in that way. We just know, well, she different. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the key. I've said this to many people before. The one thing, if you ever want to know why a man chose a certain woman to be that woman to him, she's nothing like he's ever had before. That's the answer. I promise you.
Right.
A man is never going to just become wifey. Make a woman wifey to a woman that he's had before and before and before. That's not how it works.
Right.
She has to be something he's never seen before. And I don't mean just physically. I'm talking about in his life, period.
Right.
She's going to do things. She's going to present things. She's going to build him in ways. She's going to lift him in ways. She's going to do some things that's going to be like no other woman has ever done in his life. That's the only way.
Right. The first person, the first female, the first woman, we were young. But the first person that, and you remember, the first person that I actually had that idea that she would be that person for me, when I met her, that's exactly what I felt immediately.
It's always like, that feeling.
I said, who is that? Right. I've never seen her before. She's beautiful.
Right.
Where is she from? She my age.
Right.
We both look like we the same age, you know.
It's always going to be some unfamiliar territory. Yeah. And that's, as a man, we always going to, we want to go to the unfamiliar territory. That's just part of our DNA structure.
Right. At some point, bro, before you popped the question, before you got on your knee and asked C to marry you, did you believe, did it even go through your mind like, I'm going to be a great husband? Did you think did you even think about that?
So I'll say this. Hell no.
No.
And the reason being is because I had no real example of what a great husband even looked like. So I had no clue. I just knew I wanted to be a really good dude to this woman. Right. I knew that.
Right.
In my heart, you wasn't going to tell me I wasn't going to try to be the best man I could be for this woman. Now, I don't know if that makes a great husband, but I know that makes me a great guy.
Right.
Great husband, great guy, two different people.
Right.
I knew in my heart, I'm going to be a great guy because I love her this much. I care about it too much. I got to be a great guy. I'm going to be a great guy. Now, what a great husband look like, I'm going to just try. I don't know. I don't even know what an example looks like. I've never really seen that when, growing up.
Right.
We ain't never seen what a great husband look like around us.
Right. And that's to say, and, and of course, our stepdad, you had a much closer relationship to him than I did.
Correct.
But, no disrespect to him, of course.
Correct.
I know we both love him, and
but it's still
the example that we saw
was still not great husband. Let's be clear.
And outside of that, there was nothing.
Right.
And even if there was, it was on the same lines.
Absolutely.
So I try to say all the time that, and I'm get pushed back a lot that, well, we don't get to see. I'm telling you, it's hard to be what you just don't know.
Correct.
It's hard to become what you don't visualize, what you can't see. It's hard to do it, which is why you got to profess to people, get away. Yeah. Go see some things so you can see something outside of that small circle that you in, because
you have to be around what you want to become.
That's right.
I don't go to a dentist to ask him to shoot a jump shot. Like, teach me how to shoot a jump shot. You pull teeth.
Right.
I don't go to an NBA player or ball player and say, hey, how do you pull teeth?
Right.
You're not going to get the information unless this was a dentist that was a hooper. You know, other than that, that's just, if you want to be a great ball player, you go around ball players that are great.
Right.
Not ball players, but great ball players. You can't go around men wanting to be a great husband.
Right.
Unless you're around some really good husbands, you're still not going to get the proper example.
That's right.
You can go around the wrong husband and get the wrong example.
It's facts. Because we had mentors or OGs, whatever you want to call it, and respect to them because they came from the same, pretty much was in the same cycle that we were in.
Same trenches.
But when we were young and looking up to them, they were still in the streets wilding. So we didn't have those mentors to say, do it like this, young blood.
Right. Well, them mentors showed us stuff. It just wasn't
that stuff.
It wasn't that stuff. Like they taught us a lot.
They taught us how to survive.
All that. they taught us nothing but survival, struggle, loyalty. Right. I learned all my loyalty from these streets.
Right.
Especially the OGs that raised me and the older cousins and all that. They taught us all that. But, we didn't have conversations about how I'd be a great husband.
No.
That was never going to be a conversation we have.
Because really, even at that time, none of them were husbands.
Correct.
Because they were they was in the same loop that we were in.
Exactly.
So we're perpetuating the cycle. So, which honestly, and I got to say this now while it's on my mind, that's why for yourself, and I already gave you this. It was like when you told me you was going, you was ready to get married, bro. It blew my mind.
Yeah, I remember you said that too.
I'm like, where did this come from? You know what I mean? Like, where did this develop from? Because I know it didn't come from me. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't show you this.
Yeah, I know it didn't come from me, and I know as kids. I mean, of course, you looked up to me.
I'm gonna say, bro, everything you did, I tried to do it.
Right.
I didn't care what it was.
And you've often told me how you pay attention enough to understand the ways that I went wrong.
Correct.
You were able to identify that.
Correct.
And choose another path, which
I try to learn from all your examples, good or bad. Thanks. If it was something that you made a mistake in, a lot of times you'd be like, bro, don't do that.
Right.
Don't do like me. Don't do that. And at times you didn't say nothing. I just peeped it and seen it like,
that's tough. Yeah.
He's struggling in that arena over there. I'm going to not do that one, right?
Right.
He's struggling over there. I'm going to not do that one.
Right.
But then I see you, flourishing in something. I'm like, oh, yeah, I got to do that.
Right.
I got to do that.
Right. But going back, man, to like even the upbringing part and that the guidance, because like we was just saying, the OGs were the OGs and they did the best that they could to show us the things that they show. And valuable stuff.
Very valuable.
Very valuable.
To this day, it's in me to the end.
But not along the lines of marriages and how to be a great family, like just central family guy. We were family amongst each other.
Yeah, yeah.
But how to take that and say, I'm going to be a family man at the home.
I think the only thing I seen within that family thing, I seen guys being real dads to their kids, though.
That's true.
You know what I mean? I seen even the streets.
Right.
The guys in the streets, the OGs, all that, in the hood, everything. I seen that a lot, though.
Yeah, we still seen them.
But the amazing husband role was very tough to see. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying you can't be in the hood and can't be a great husband. It's just a lot of times them great husbands wasn't in the streets. They lived in the hood. They just wasn't in the streets.
Right.
And so while you out in the environments that you're in, this ain't the environment that great husbands hang in, partner.
Right.
So you ain't see it.
Yeah. Our beautiful mom, man.
Oh.
God bless her. Because, it's always been a trio.
Man, you already know it.
We learn things differently. And I think about this often because we were very tight-knit. Yeah. Even us three. So the way that we were raised, you know what I mean? Our mom would do things like on Christmas and birthdays, and I was 2 years older than you. But whatever I got,
oh, absolutely,
you got exactly.
My mother raised us where she didn't do no favoritism. It was equal or nothing.
Right.
If we went to the store and if I wanted that Debbie cake or that bag of chips, if he couldn't get it, I wasn't getting it.
Ain't nobody getting it.
It's either gonna be 2 snacks or no snack.
Right.
And that's how she raised us. 2 new pair of shoes or no shoes. Right. 2 new pair of pants or no pants. Right. She was built like that. And then it's less in our DNA though.
It is. And I carry that like even in all my situations. And it's been more of a gift than it has been, but sometimes it's been even a curse. Yeah. Because you're to a fault with it. It's like you'll make yourself miserable. You beat
yourself up.
Yeah.
You beat yourself up like, God, I couldn't get my other child up.
Right. I remember mom used to take out loans, man, like around Christmas time.
The worst.
You know what I'm saying? Just to get bikes because she didn't want to, I remember a time she didn't want us to feel bad about the other kids that may have gotten stuff in the neighborhood. So she would just go in extreme debt or whatever she could do.
Extreme debt.
To make it happen. And I remember,
make sure we had some kind of Christmas or birthdays or whatever.
Yep. I remember one time, and I had got a little older, and she was still doing it. She still does it to this day.
What you mean?
So I had got a little, even on my birthday come around.
Pull it up. We have like, hey, mom, chill out.
Relax.
There's no need for it.
You know what I mean?
It's in her though. She actually has to do these things for herself sometimes. It's not even for us no more.
Right. I remember one time we were young, and I had got a little. I probably was about 12 at the time, and I had started peeping how hard she worked and all of the things that we saw. And I told her, because I knew what she was going through to make these things happen. Mom, we good.
We good.
We got clothes and we got food and a place to stay.
We good.
We straight. You don't have to break yourself and go in more and more debt for Christmas or birthdays or any of that stuff. She ain't ever learned that lesson.
It didn't matter to her. It ain't matter what you said. It was that was how she was gonna rock and roll with it. She go get loans or whatever she had to do. Just pay, rob Peter to pay Paul, however she did it.
Right.
She was gonna get something for Christmas, birthday, something. She gonna try to figure it out. And it might not even be nothing you really wanted.
Right. You didn't even ask for it.
You didn't even ask for it. It wasn't even nothing you even talked about ever.
Right.
Like, where did you get this idea from?
Yep.
Oh, I don't know. I just thought you would like it.
That's right.
Got you. Thank you.
She still buy me gifts, and I hope she don't see this episode. She'll buy me a gift, and I'll be like, I feel so bad because I'll be like, what is
I'm not wearing this.
I'm never going to wear this.
I'm never going to wear it. And it's 3 sizes too big. It is 3 sizes too big.
But you like, Mama gave it to me, so it's special.
Oh, no, I'm going to tell you what's worse. Nah, I'm probably worse than you. Mine is still in the house, hanging in the closet. I can't even throw it away.
Me either.
It's personal. I can't throw it away.
I just got
I would
stuff.
never wear it.
Yeah.
It still got the tags on it, everything. I can't never wear this.
I got long johns and stuff.
I can't wear them long johns so big, literally can fit 2 of me in them.
Yeah.
I can't throw them away though.
Crazy, man. But question though, man. How do you think, and piggybacking off of all of those great times, because it's still great times.
Absolutely.
How do you think though, because we are basically one generation removed from outhouses and no running water.
And people look at us and would never believe that. People go, there's no way. Your generation, you was born in, I was born 1980. They was like, no way. Like, your mom should have.
It don't make sense.
It don't make sense. But our mothers were literally going to the bathroom in outhouses, walking to school barefoot with no shoes on. That literally sounds like some back in the day slavery style stuff, but that's how poor.
And mom's what, 65?
Yeah.
65?
That's how poor our family was though.
Right. That's where we come from. So my question for you is though,
crazy.
How do you think, that type of poverty impacts your relationships, later on in life? Like, for example, did that have an impact on your thought processes, even in your marriage?
Absolutely, man. What happens is you start looking at different, and this plays a part in compatibility too, because you look at what you've been through in your journey, your story, and just even what you've seen versus what this person has been through and seen in their journey.
Right. And
so when you go through the storms, you're probably way more comfortable through storms where this person hasn't experienced stuff. So they're not as comfortable in the storm. So now it's like, okay, let's just say, for instance, we're in the middle of a storm. Let's just say if it's a financial storm. How I'm going to carry myself in this financial storm is going to be real comfortable because I've been through financial storm. I've been through some of the worst of the worst. So to me, it's like, all right, cool, we get through this. This ain't nothing. No, God got us, right? My attitude is real calm. Like, let's go get some sushi. You know what I'm saying? We on something. Let's go do something else.
Right.
Versus the other person maybe pulling their hair out, like don't understand like what is going on. No. But I think the light's gonna get cut off. Relax. And so that compatibility part plays a major role because what's now gonna happen is this person is gonna push unwarranted, like they're not trying to, unintentional stress onto your plate. Where you was calm and cool and everything is smooth. Now you're flustered. Now you're trying to problem solve at an abnormal rate. Where me, I just want to go out to eat and we can talk about it and we can solve the problem while we out to eat.
Right.
This person is now making you, it's going to make you feel like, oh God, like, and you're going to have thoughts that are not normally your normal situation. And so now you're having to figure out how do y'all go through these storms accordingly together the right way. And that sometimes can be tough or it can be,
because it goes back to, like you said, that core.
That core.
That foundation.
Core. If you knew these things You've been able to make a decision. Is that going to work for me?
Right.
Because we come from so much of a different background.
Right.
How will we handle storms together?
Right.
Because everybody experience and maturity in certain things are different, completely different.
Right.
And it can make or break you, especially if you're not, the key word is communication.
Right.
Communication is going to determine that as well, but
Right. We just spoke about how, our stepdad was in the home with mom, and basically my perception of it, and I'll give you my visual, and you probably seen some of the same, but a little bit different too.
Okay.
Basically they go to work, come home, speak,
That's it.
go to the bedroom,
Right.
No real interactions and things of that nature. So our biological father wasn't around, you know what I mean? So pretty much at all. And that had an impact on me. I always loved him,
You were closer, and it's so ironic. I was closer to my stepfather, and you was closer to our real father.
Right.
That's crazy.
For whatever, I think that probably has a lot to do with age, age difference. Like because I was the oldest, I was, the time that I probably spent thinking about dad was a little bit more at the time.
Correct.
But
where I felt I just had a friend at the house.
Right.
I'm good.
Right.
Right.
So, but him not being around, I mean, I can recall one time, and like I said, I loved him. It bothered me because there was always a time when I was thinking, and just to tell the story, the time I got in trouble, and waited till the last minute to tell anybody. And then when mom found out, and she needed to call dad, and he pulled up.
Lifeline moment.
Yeah, red button.
Right.
She called him, and he pulled up, and he decided he was just gonna lecture me out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? And it was like,
right. Talk to me like a dad for the first time.
You can't pull up, you know what I'm saying, talking like that right now. And my response to him was, maybe if you'd have been here, you helped me navigate. I've been trying to figure this shit out for myself.
Man.
You know what I mean? Like, I've been going through all of this, you know what I mean, pretty much as a man.
You jumped off the porch early.
There you go. I had to.
Early.
There was no blueprint. There was no manual for how I'm supposed to move, and being raised by
a stepfather who didn't have social skills to be able to interact with us and show us things. He showed us things later.
Right.
But the later was when we were adults in our own homes at that point. But in the teenage years and the middle school and teenage years, we didn't have that show me things in life.
Right.
We never had those conversations.
Right.
It was, I'm here to be a great dad, great guy to your mama. And it was like, okay, but I need some help over here too, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, what's happening?
It's crazy because even when I think about them times, there was this, to flip it a little bit, as I became an adult, there was something that came across my mind about him, because I was like, man, mom used to kind of let me get away with a little murder at the house.
Well, what?
So
what? I know. Freedom was crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So I thought as a kid, I was all for it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm living in it. You know what I mean? I'm in the moment. But when I became an adult and had to be a stepfather myself, you know what I mean? I'm in a relationship with a woman that has children. So now, you know what I mean? I'm there. It hit me. I was like, dang, mom she didn't handle that one all the way right.
Didn't handle it well at all.
You know what I'm saying? She didn't handle it, just, you got to be a team. And the hierarchy got to be what it's got to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The hierarchy should have been her, our stepdad, then us.
Right.
Them, then us.
Right.
But here's the crazy part, man. Mothers and their sons, bro, it's very hard.
Oh.
It's very hard. It's very hard for them to relinquish that. And I've learned that as an adult, just being in my own relationships, that it's very hard for them to relinquish it. But going back to dad, man, how do you think him not being, do you believe that him not being around impacted you?
Correct. Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
In a huge way. And you've talked about this before. I remember, man, you may not remember. We pinky promised a handshake one day and said we ain't gonna never be nothing like our daddy.
Right.
You don't remember that?
I don't remember.
We stood in the living room in the little greenhouse in the
crazy.
Valley. Everybody know about the little greenhouse in the Valley. We stood right there in the living room by the dining room table. I'll never forget it. Matter of fact, it was shortly after he had a conversation with our mom and he raised his voice. I'm putting this on tape. He came in the house, had a conversation with our mom, and the conversation got a little loud. And you come out that back room. I was sitting in my room, Dre sitting in his room.
Mm-hmm.
He in the living room, kitchen table, having a conversation with our mom for the first time ever stepping foot in our house, ever.
Right.
He got loud. I'm sitting on the bed. I hear my brother open that door and walk right past the door. I said, oh, shit. It's about to get real. Because Dre ain't finna play that about his mama. And I walk out there because I'm like, if he get real with him, it's getting real with me. It's getting real with me.
Right.
Tag team, back again.
Go jump there.
Right. I'm trying to tell you, we been at WCW. I've been watching a whole lot of wrestling. Tag me in.
Yeah.
But you walked in there. Dre said, hey, man, you got, excuse my language. I can cuss on it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Dre was like, you got to get the hell up out of here, bro.
Yeah.
Just like that. And he like, and I looked behind Dre. I said, hey, you got to get the hell up out of here. I'm looking like shit. He said, I'm saying, you got to get the hell up out of here. And I remember at that moment, when he walked out of there pissed. He didn't say nothing to us. He didn't come back at us about nothing. Dre walked him to the door, opened up the door. He walked out, turned around, and I promise you, 15 minutes later, me and you was talking in the living room.
I remember that. You telling that story, it brought it back.
We dapped up, and then you pinky promised. You said, man, pinky promise, we ain't gonna never be nothing like our daddy, man. And for real, that shit stuck with me for the rest of my life.
Right.
Because seeing such a horrible example, but also knowing, and it's so funny that now he's a great guy.
Absolutely.
Phenomenal guy.
Absolutely.
He was just a bad example of a dad at the time. And seeing that, for me, all through my life, I'm constantly I would make decisions saying, if he would do this, I probably ain't gonna do it. Whatever, I'm trying to think of how to make sure I don't make a decision that he would have made. Constantly in my mind, I'm trying to do opposite of what this guy did because I just know he wasn't a great example.
Right.
Because I seen it at such an early age to know this ain't what a dad does.
Right.
I don't want to do nothing like that. And when you said it to me, it was like, man, just promise me we ain't gonna be nothing like my dad. That let me know, like, because everything you said to me at the time was gold. Like, if he says it's green to go, then it's green to go. If my brother say this is bad, don't do this, it's bad, don't do it. I ain't gonna ask no questions.
Yeah.
And so for me, that stuck with me for the rest of my life. Everything all I kept saying is I'm gonna be whenever I have a kid, I'm gonna be a phenomenal father. Period. Whatever that means. Transparent
moment for me, even as you saying that. And I remember, I do remember that happened. I remember the story. First and foremost, as far as dad goes, you know, what I did over and over and over again for him, and I had to keep learning how to forgive him, not understanding his story. And I'm gonna tell you why that happened. I'm gonna tell you why it had to happen. Because I made that promise to you and I broke it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Not real. Knowing your history can doom you sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's my dad. My blood and his blood
run in me. Right.
It's the same. So I became, unfortunately, trying hard not to be him. Right. I became somewhat like him when it comes to, you know, all of the things, the distractions of the world.
I can see how that.
But as I grew and grew and grew and matured, I was able to adapt and figure out, oh no, not gonna do this now, not gonna do that, catch myself. But there were some things that did derail me. Correct. You know what I mean? Right. It was like, but I was trying so hard not to be something that I actually became a little bit of. You know what I'm saying?
That's real. That can happen. I can see how that can happen. Definitely.
But yeah, it's like I said, we both, I mean, we you know, still love him to death. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's just love him to life.
Dope guy. He's a really good guy, man. He just made mistakes, man.
Yeah, and
you taught me how to forgive him.
Right. Because I had to live life first to understand, like, man, we just don't know how this thing goes. You know what I mean? Like, we don't even know how we ended up here in this way. You know what I mean? What happened? You know what I'm saying? Because we don't even know that he's not a loving dad. We just know he wasn't here for us.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So
you done called me several times. You probably don't even remember. My brother would just call me and say, bro, you got to forgive him, man. Yeah. You would just tell me to forgive him. I'd be like, I was so built up. It's like, for what?
Yeah, it was always tough.
He's a stranger to me. I used to be hot. Yeah. You taught me how to love and forgive him, man. Because it took me a minute.
And I can honestly understand why. You know what I'm saying? Because some of that rage I had in me as well. But you know, we grew and we didn't let those circumstances stop us from doing anything. Correct. We didn't let it hinder us from becoming and to continue to grow and become what we, you know, are going to become.
Right.
You know,
And that's my
at the end of the
dog
day.
now.
So,
We good now.
yeah, absolutely. Like, you know,
Yeah.
our relationship is beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So,
absolutely.
yeah, so
And that's what it's about. You know, it's a beautiful thing to be able to do it while you're still living and while we all still living. You don't want to go to the grave with hatred in your heart for a person.
right.
And you want to make things right if you can with anybody that's on this earth, if you can.
Right.
You know, some situations you don't have to. You know, some things you can walk away from and, you know, never speak again. But you still got to make peace and grace in your heart, forgiveness in your heart. I mean, you got to forget it and be friends, but
Right.
you still always need to go with grace and forgiveness. And C taught me that, definitely. I ain't even gonna lie. That was something that I was introduced. Like, and that goes back to relationship. Like, you only want to be with a woman that's gonna make you better.
Absolutely.
Like, if she ain't teaching you nothing, bro, I promise you, you got the wrong woman. I don't care whoever see this. If she ain't teaching you nothing, she ain't building you, helping you grow, helping you heal, you got the wrong one. Period.
And vice versa. That's,
Vice versa, absolutely.
That's the part of the give and take in a relationship. You just got to
Absolutely.
keep building each other up. Do you think men get the proper support or even support each other properly? Somebody asked me this question more recently. Like, why don't guys come together and build things like the women do? You know what I mean? Women support each other. When women have something, they have something. You know what I mean? So do you think that that's not a big issue, or is it a bigger issue than we would like to believe?
So I think men do it in different ways. When we there are certain things that are more feminine traits, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the certain things that are more masculine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Camaraderie, competition, a lot of things are in men personally. Like we just build in different ways, right? So it's like obviously it's all about what aligns with our interests,
Right.
with men.
Right.
Because it takes a lot. When you're young as a man, you don't, it's certain things that you just you don't do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that you don't supposed to do it, it's just you don't naturally do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's the only thing we built clubhouses, you know what I'm saying? We had
Right.
little boys clubs, stuff like that. You know,
Right.
but when it came to the more adult things, by then in life, you've separated to your own self to its own little entity to a certain extent.
Right.
Where it's like, because men, honestly, man, we have to take on the world a lot.
Right.
You know what I mean? As individuals, it's a lot that we have to do. And everything we do have to get it from the mud to a certain extent.
Right.
There's a handful of men that have sugar mamas. Let's be clear.
Right.
But let's turn that role around. There's a lot of women that have sugar daddies or got a guy that's financially in position.
A PayPal.
Or PayPal. Right.
She got a PayPal account.
Right.
Yeah.
Or Paymaster.
Yeah, Paymaster.
Paymaster. So at the end of the day, we have to get it from different places and have to really grind in certain ways, which is
this it can be confusing and difficult at the same time, but
because we have to. So I always say this, that having that leg up, you know what I mean? It's harder for men to have the leg up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, we know women have definitely went through a lot of things over the history of time to having that leg up.
Right.
But they have the opportunity to skip past go and collect 200.
Right.
You know what I mean?
A lot more than a man would.
would.
Especially a woman with children and things of that nature. Because even a single dad
in this day and age.
Right.
Let's speak on this day and age. Because we go back now that them tables turn way different.
Right.
But speaking on this day and age, there is a different playing field.
Right. And
the expectations of those playing fields sometimes is a little unbalanced too, but we'll talk about that in a little bit.
I see. We can get in it now.
Okay.
Because I seen a post, bro. Like, I think it was a pastor, and he was laying down flat, and he had this woman come and sit on his back, and that was his analogy of explaining how life is supposed to be. And I said, I get the analogy, but bruh, sometimes you don't need even a man, even the strongest man.
Right.
He needs some
Absolutely.
help. He needs somebody to hold him from time to time. It's cool to be the foundation and all of that stuff for the most part, and I say this and I'm gonna keep saying this. I am not a sacrifice.
Correct.
I'm not. I want to enjoy the fruits of the labor with you.
Correct.
I want us to work together.
Right.
To get this.
So when you really look at stuff, it's like this. It's the reason why you have a lot of men committing suicide. Let's be clear. You know what I mean? Because we got to understand that what men take on, we have to have an outlet. We got to be able to release that. We can't constantly be a man all day. Leave the house, be in the streets, in the world, wherever we are, and chest out, head up. And be that man all day. You have to carry this. And then you come home and still got to be chest out, head up. It's impossible.
Right.
She has to be able to pour back into him, and he need to be able to pour in her at times.
Right.
If he don't have that, then he's going to crumble because you're not even built to be able to do that. That's just not.
You're going to fall apart.
You're going to fall apart.
Yeah.
You have to be able to have, it's the reason to me why God created two. You know what I mean? He created a man and a woman. It's a balance to it. It's not a
helpmate.
Yeah, it's not a it's a balance to it. It's strengths and weaknesses.
Right.
If you even look into real healthy relationships, they play off each other's strengths and weaknesses. So it's like, if I'm in a relationship and she's better at bookkeeping than me,
boom.
Why am I trying to take over the bookkeeping? If she better at paying bills and paying things on time and saving money, she need to handle finances, bro. Put your pride aside and be with the woman, and make sure she handle the finances. If I'm better at putting things together, if I'm better at, time management, and I'm the one that makes sure we always on time, then I'm gonna take over on when we need to be somewhere and take on time. There's strength and weaknesses in a relationship that's extremely important, but it's also emotional strength and weaknesses. There's times where I'm weak and you're strong. I need that strength. Because strength and weaknesses aren't just in task. It's emotionally, it's mentally. I need your strength right now. I'm weak. I need you to build me up. And if a person feel like, well, that ain't a man, well, if you think that a man's supposed to be 100% strong all day, every day, then you have the wrong definition of what a man is.
And I'm thinking
because real men can transparently show you when they're weak. That's what a real man can do. If he can't be transparent and show you when he's weak, then he's not being a man at that moment. He's putting on a facade to try to be what he think what a man look like. A real man is transparent. A real man is vulnerable, but still strong. That's what real men do.
And eventually, if he keep that bottled up, it's gonna crush him.
Pressure bust pipes.
And he might be able to carry it for a while and conceal it and hide it until it festers inside of him, and it comes out another way.
He's gonna explode.
Comes out another way, man. You spoke on expectations, and that's pretty much what you getting into. Like the expectations are different. And just like I said with the clip with the lady sitting on the guy's back, and he's like, that's what a man is supposed to be. That's what you're supposed to do. And I'm like, I get it, bro. You know what I'm saying? I get what you're saying. I understand that part, but don't. And then a lot of the stuff, man, I'm just jumping off a little bit. A lot of the stuff is a clickbait. Like,
of course it's
pick me information. And it's like,
a lot of stuff is, I'm going to say it because I know this what y'all want to hear. Or I know this because I know it's going to create some static in conversation, so it's gonna go out like that. Boo, the crowd goes boo.
Yeah, just be organic, be real. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, about your situation, because that's the only way you really gonna fix anything, especially yourself. But you, the expectation. So I'll never forget, bro. When I long time ago in Atlanta, and I heard a commercial on the radio. It was, I'm not even gonna say the name of it, but it was a certain law firm.
Oh yeah.
That were basically promoting that they were handling divorces, and they only represented men. They only represented men. And I thought, like,
what?
Where is this coming from?
So why is that?
Yeah, like, why is this necessary?
Why is it necessary?
You know what I'm saying?
That's the real question.
Why is this necessary? So as they were explaining, as you start listening to them more and more, they would explain in the literal commercial that guys underrepresented in any of these situations,
absolutely.
Most of the time, the guy's gonna lose. So anyway, my point in that is, and like I said, the good news with you guys is, you guys are still best friends.
Absolutely, that's my.
You know what I mean? You guys are still.
That's my dog.
Flirt. That's still my sis. You know what I'm saying? It's still.
That's my man.
And let me go back to something I said about baby mamas or whatever we was talking about being at the cookout. To clarify myself, I meant unhealthy relationships, guy. Unhealthy.
Unhealthy.
Not healthy. If it's healthy, by all means, everybody can come and have a good time. But if it's unhealthy, get rid of it. It's unnecessary. Let everybody enjoy life. But guys, in those situations, how much in your situation, how much support really, be honest with us, how many people check on you to make sure you're good?
Man, yeah, it's so funny because we talked about this. Not me and you, but me and one of my homeboys. It's real crazy that I felt a real weird energy. It was almost like alienated. It was almost like I felt like everybody was like, "Oh, is she okay? She good? We got you, sis. We praying for you." And I was like, "Well, damn, ain't nobody praying for me?"
Right.
What? I mean, I think it two parted ways, right? It was two people, wasn't it? You know what I'm saying? That's how I felt. Like, damn. But as a man, you pick yourself back up by the bootstraps, you keep it moving.
Right.
But at the same token, it does sometimes feel off balance because you thinking to yourself, it ain't like I gotta have it. It ain't like, oh, I need it. But it's almost like it's the same way the ice cream truck will pass you by and go to the next person, right? It was like, well, shit, I probably wasn't gonna get nothing anyway, but damn, you just gonna pass me by?
Right.
It ain't, you're not mad at the ice cream truck person. It's just more of a obvious moment. Like,
Right.
damn, this really actually happens like this? You know what I mean? You asking yourself, am I, and it almost sometimes it make you feel like you're the villain. And it's like, damn, nobody even asked what happened.
Right.
Just automatically assume, hey,
that you did something
that I
wrong.
did something, or she need to be checked on. It's like, and it's so funny because I see the post all the time. I see people post it and say, hey man, y'all got to start checking on your strong friends. Because I think sometimes we automatically just assume men are okay.
Right.
And they strong, which I was, but because we didn't have nothing toxic in the first place. But at the same token, don't assume that though.
Right.
You know what I mean? Check on your strong friends. You don't know what I'm going through. You know what I mean? So I think that has to happen more for everybody.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I had maybe 2 friends, for real. You know, I got a text. I got a text from Josh Knuckles, and I got a phone call from one other friend. But I think it was only like 1 or 2 people that really, truly, genuinely checked on me.
Yeah.
Not from a tell me what happened.
Right.
Because you get those, they just want to be nosy.
Right.
You're going to get those, they'll wait a few days and then just hit you with all the, tell me what happened.
Right. They just want
they just want the tea.
Yeah.
They just want the tea.
Yep.
I'm talking about the true, genuine, bro, you good?
Right.
You want to talk? What's up?
Yep.
I got that maybe two people.
Yeah.
I got one phone call, Terrence Lester. And I make sure I put these names out there because these are dope people.
Right.
Terrence Lester is a phenomenal dude. And Terrence like, bro, I need to see your face.
Right.
Let's talk face to face. We need that face to face time, bro. You good? And I was like, thank you, bro. That's crazy. Even though I was like, I'm good though. We never end up getting up. But it was just like, I appreciate that.
Gestures.
That needs to happen more often through situations like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I think some men don't make it. Some men aren't okay.
That's facts.
I've had a friend take his life, recently. And that hurt. That rock you to the core because I just recently talked to him several times and you thinking everything is good. You don't know. You have no clue. They all look strong. It all look like.
Looks like everything's fine.
Everything look like everything is okay. Check on your strong friends, bro.
Yep. Please. And I really did want to put that out there because this ain't what people talk about.
Nah.
It's always, and it goes that way. It's always been that way. Right. As if we men, but we got feelings. We, what I mean? We feel things as well.
Human.
And you damn sure gonna feel when it's time for you to split on a relationship that you cared so much about that you invested just as much into this relationship, and it's over for 2 people, like you said, not just one.
Not just one, it's over.
And I the reason why I asked that because I noticed, a little bit of it, and nothing against Sia, it ain't her fault that happens.
Absolutely, she's
but it's
woman.
like the people on the outside, man. You gotta stop acting like guys or robots or aliens or something.
Right.
Like we just walking around and can just be stoned and nobody's, it ain't gonna hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
and if it wasn't for us having such a phenomenal friendship, respect and honor for each other, if we didn't have that, I probably would have been somewhere like looking crazy, like, dang, this shit really just happened.
Yeah.
But we were best friends who came to a real mutual agreement and sat down at the table across from each other and talked and said, hey, I think we should do this. What you think? If it wasn't for that kind of situation, I probably would have needed real people to check on me. But because we had that friendship at the time, that honor, that respect, and we still had that. That's my dog. If it wasn't for that, I think it would have been a much different outcome. But the problem is, how many divorces actually have that mutual honor and respect where there's no villain in the story?
Right.
Most don't have that. So somebody, you know what I'm saying? So it's not always a peaceful.
Somebody's mad usually.
Correct.
Yep.
So
Somebody's
check on
upset.
those people, man. For real, for real.
Absolutely. I did have to put that in there because, like I said, man, it was just like, I'm going to,
All right.
but I'm gonna make sure both of you know what I mean?
Correct.
But
Absolutely.
you bro, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I gotta
yeah.
make sure, bro, you good, you know what I'm saying? Because
you always
it hurt
gonna
me.
check on
You
anything.
know what I'm saying? It's gonna, you know what I mean? It's gonna hurt me.
Yeah, you was hurt.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, so I'm like, but
My mama cried.
Yeah.
Her mama cried.
Yeah.
I ain't see a person, and my homeboy cried
Right.
in front of me at Twin Peaks
Right.
at the table.
Yeah.
He's sitting there eating, and I told him he didn't know.
That's a testament to y'all relationship.
I've never seen nothing like that before in my life. My homeboy, I ain't gonna say his name because I don't want to put him out there like that.
Yeah.
But we sitting at Twin Peaks in Atlanta, and he didn't know. And I told him, I was like, hey, I had to say sis because that's what he called. I'm like, me and your sis, I just want to let you know because I know you didn't know about it.
Right.
We got a divorce, and he was just like, he really didn't believe it, and he literally was in tears. Not like crying like that, but it just, came down his face. He was like, man, that's my dog. Like, you was the example for me. You was the, y'all was that, the couple that was that true example for us. And I'm like, use this as an example too.
Facts. How to get through the tough
Use
times.
this as an example.
Yep.
It's not everything gonna always work. Not everything is always what you see.
Right.
And understand you can still part ways and be peaceful and loving, and it's not always ugly. That's
Yeah. That's real talk, man. And it's a testament to the relationship that I say, man, let's talk. We hooped together.
Right.
We go to the parks together, you know what I'm saying, play basketball because she hoop and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? You guys, both doing business together, all that good stuff. It was just a testament to the strength of the relationship and the friendship that you guys have. To be able to split amicably, you know what I mean? And it's not any strife or anything like that. There's no toxicness or anything. And,
right.
And I respect that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And I respect the hell out of her.
Great co-parents.
Because there you go. And I respect the hell out of her just, for those reasons.
Right.
Because I know what it's like for it not to be that situation. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. I've seen it.
And that goes back to choosing wise though.
Yeah.
What we talked about.
Yeah.
It goes back to choosing, man. People don't do their homework and get to know a person to the core. I knew before I even started dating her that she would be this phenomenal person.
Right.
I talked about that to you well before we even got to a relationship. Like, she's phenomenal. Like, certain things, if she was to ever have a child, she's going to be a phenomenal mother, regardless if it was with me or anybody else.
Right.
It's, when you get to know certain things, you can make a wise and healthy decision.
Right.
And it's easy.
Yep.
That's what makes it easy to say I do. It makes it say, oh yeah, we definitely get married. Because you already know, even if it don't work out, I chose a phenomenal person. I didn't choose somebody that actually, it kills me sometimes to see relationships on TV and they be like, the husband is this or touch the kids. It's like,
right.
That come on, bro. That didn't just come out of nowhere.
Right.
And he just chose this week to be a molester.
Right.
I'm sorry, not saying he had to do it before, but there was red flags about his personal life prior to. There had to be.
Right.
You just probably didn't notice it. You probably thought you can change him because that happens often.
Right.
But doing the real homework and paying attention to them red flags early, I can get to know somebody in 11 days and know more about a person in 11 days or 11 hours than most people know in 11 years.
Right.
Because I'm going to do the homework right. Sometimes I know I can talk a lot, but I'm going to shut up and listen. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because people don't know when to shut up and just look.
Right.
When he get out the phone with talking to one of his homeboys that he called his real close boy, and then he just dog him out to you, that's a red flag, mama. That was supposed to be his best friend. He just destroyed this man when he got off the phone, right?
Right.
Well, how does he treat the women in his life? What does he do when nobody's looking? How does he act? Matter of fact, I give one tip to most women. This will help you figure out what kind of guy you're dealing with if you got a real red flag, just on a small note real quick. And it ain't going to take you no time. You sitting with a guy at the dinner table, bring up a subject about molestation, rape, sex trafficking, about you being molested if you have, whatever the case. Bring up the hardest subject, talk about. Sensitive subjects, the gruesome ones, and watch his body mannerism. Does he change the topic real quick? Does he shift his body a little bit and don't want to talk about it much? Does he create something else to talk about? Matter of fact, does he get offended? Does he,
right.
Or does he engage because he's passionate about it? Or does he? A lot of these things can be red flags if you pay attention. Right. Like sometimes just bring up that subject and see what he do. And if he shift, then yeah. So you see the game or not?
Yeah.
Red flag, mama.
Right.
Why is that a subject you don't care to talk about? You might want to dig into that conversation a little bit more. Now, if he dive right in and he's passionate about it, he want to do more with it, want to have more conversation about it, then you might be dealing with a real, good guy. You never know. Right. But just pay attention to the real subject. You know what I mean?
Thanks.
So,
man, before we get out of it, man, if I have one regret in life, bro, as it pertains to our relationship, man, it's when we were kids, bro. Like, and I think about this. I've told you this before. I should have never left you behind for my friends.
Oh man!
Listen, hold up, because you're gonna say exactly what everybody say when I say this.
Okay.
You're gonna say, "Oh man, you kids, that's what they do." Right, and that's true. That's a fact. But man, as I grew up, and what you do is you start seeing who your real friends are in the end.
Yeah, that's real. Damn. That's real.
So now you're looking back and saying,
what's the one person that's gonna be
shunned this person? Yeah. This should have been the person that I would never do that for.
Right.
I'm not gonna say I think about it often anymore, but it used to haunt me.
Right.
Because I remember those times when I'd be like, man, get on out of here. You know what I'm saying? Just to run off with my friends, man, get out of here. Right. But if there is something that I regret, bro, it's not saying, that's my man.
Right. Come on.
Because you were that.
Right.
It's just when you kids, you don't see it right there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because as we spoke on earlier today, you, besides my children and you know what I mean? Children and everything I got going on, but whatever, my trio had always been, and my foundation has always been y'all.
Right.
And you know that. The same as I know Absolutely. That's what it was with y'all. You got married, so you bring, now it's different. It gets a little different, but still, that still holds true. But if I've regretted anything, bro, it's that I ever left you behind, because I know that 40 years from now, 50 years from now,
right,
through infinity, you're going to be my friend.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
My forever friend.
I'm running through walls. You already know how it is.
And you don't know that at 13.
Right.
You don't know that at 12. But
what's so crazy is what you don't know is you don't know it because you're the older brother.
Right.
Because the younger brother knew it. Oh, no. I don't care what nobody say. You go ask that little brother that admires his big brother that want to follow him around everywhere he go. Oh, he knew it. Yeah. He knew I'm going to be by his hip if he let me be by his hip every day. The little brother always know it. But that big brother, boy, be irritated. I mean, just getting on his nerves.
I'm gonna go hang out with Twan and Nito. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because you got to look at it. And not even that. You still was the baby to the crew you was hanging with to a certain extent. So you were trying to hang with the older G's. I know you was. I remember, because I was like, but these niggas much older than us. Right. But I'm still trying to hang with you.
Right.
And you try to hang with them.
You can't come in.
Right. Because it would make you feel like you were much younger.
Like I say, man.
And that's part of it, though.
It's crushed my soul to know, like, man, you can't hang. No, because you the only person that I want to hang with, bro.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Vice versa, though. Vice versa. Yeah. Everybody know how we rock, though. Yeah. Them Bobo brothers play 0 games. None. But it's been like that, though.
And they know that.
Yeah, it's been like that.
Man, just before we go, man, let them know what you got going on. Let them know how they can contact you. Give them all the information.
Well, I'm on Instagram, HSKG Brand on Instagram. Facebook, the same as well. Website is thehskgbrand.com. HSKG stands for House of Kings. Luxury clothing brand for men, but also a lot of women buy it as well. But I make tailored suits and
he the dopest.
Red carpet wear and luxury bags and things of that nature. So, you can always reach out to me, and then on personal pages and stuff like that on Instagram as well. But y'all can always hit me up anytime. You know what I mean? I get it in for my city. I love my city. I do everything in my brand for my city. A lot of people don't know how much I embed my brand, how much I embed my city in my brand.
Thanks.
I think almost every shoe on my page is named after something in Greenville, South Carolina.
Yeah.
Suits are named after Greenville, South Carolina. Everything I do, I have
absolutely.
I have a collection called the 25th District Collection. Everything I do is embedded for my city. So, I get it in for my city.
Always have, always will, man.
No matter where I'm at. I don't care where I reside.
Repping.
I'm a quarter boy till I die.
Always have, always will.
Absolutely.
Hey, man. Love you. You know that.
Love you too, bro.
My forever love, boy. Like, for real.
For real.
It's eternity. It's eternal.
You already know how to run.
Man Cave, man, I want y'all to go make sure you follow, subscribe, all platforms. Man Cave Pod. Man Cave Pod, Man Cave with Southside Dre. Everywhere you get your podcast, please like, follow, share. I think we just hit some milestones recently that are amazing. So get on board, man. Get on board and check us out. We appreciate all the support that we've gotten thus far. And continue to support it. We out.
Yeah, hey, if you ain't looking at his views, they's in the millions. Stop playing with this man.
I wasn't gonna say it, man.
I'm gonna say it for you, partner. Look, they in the them views in the millions. If y'all ain't watching now, you sleep. Wake up. You know what I'm saying? Go get your coffee and go on and get to it, man. Man Cave Podcast. Stop playing. They in the millions now. So you behind.
Appreciate you.
Get caught up, man. Stop playing.
Love.